9,000 miles on this TRK 502X. Every type of riding, commuting, touring, two up, solo, loaded with gear. And I still get asked, should I buy one? I think a lot of reviews get this bike completely wrong. Some of them often slate it for not being something it never tried to be, or they praise it for the wrong reasons. So I'm going to tell you exactly what bike this is, who it's perfect for, and who should absolutely look elsewhere. So first, let's be clear, this is not an adventure bike in the KTM 890 sense. This isn't for tearing around the Scottish Highlands single tracks or copying Adam Ryman videos. This is the tourer that happens to look adventurous. It's a bike that will take you anywhere there's a proper road. It'll handle a gravel car park or a muddy farm track when needed, but it won't embarrass you on tarmac. And once you understand that, everything else makes sense. The seat is genuinely brilliant. I've done 300-mile days without my arse going numb. The riding position is spot on for touring. It's upright, relaxed. Your arms are in a natural position. Two up comfort is excellent too. It's got proper grab rails, a wide seat, good foot peg position. My partner's happy for hours on the back, which is saying something. One warning about the seat height, it's 840mm tall. Like, that is tall. If you're under 5'10", you might want to consider a lowering link or a lower seat. And don't kid yourself about tiptoeing around car parks. Here's where the weight actually helps. So yes, it's heavy at 230 odd kilos wet, but once you're moving, that weight makes it incredibly planted and stable. The cornering is brilliant. It flows through bends, it tracks beautifully, it gives you massive confidence. It's almost flattering. It makes average riders feel good. Your motorway stability is rock solid. Like crosswinds, lorry buffeting, it just shrugs a lot of that off. And that weight that's annoying in car parks actually becomes quite a big asset when you're at speed. The engine gets unfairly criticised. Yes, it's not fast, but it's perfectly adequate for real-world riding. Overtaking A-road traffic, no problem. Keeping up with faster riders is easily done. It will sit at 70 or 80 miles an hour all day without stress. There's slight vibrations over 70, but they're nothing compared to other singles or twins. Like, this is actually a very smooth engine. And the fuel economy is brilliant. I regularly see 60 to 70 miles per gallon on a steady run. And that's like, that gives you proper touring range. It comes properly equipped. So crash bars, hand guards, you can get it with panniers and top box mount, like stuff that, can cost thousands as extras on other bikes. I've carried camping gear for a week, clothes for two people, tools, spares. It just swallows luggage. Like, the panniers are actually good quality, the ones that come with it too. They're not the cheap rubbish that you might expect. Wind protection is decent, although the headlight is only, I would say, okay at best. Most people, myself included, have added spotlights for proper night riding. Here's the killer argument. I paid £3,200 for mine with low miles. Show me any other bike that offers that level of equipment, comfort and capability for that money. Like a CB 500X with similar miles, probably looking at £1,500 more minimum. A Versys, maybe even more than that. Neither come with crash bars, hand guards, panniers as standard. Reliability has been spot on too. Starts every time. Regular servicing keeps it happy, and the build quality is actually very good, like the paint, finish, everything. It looks good, it sounds good, it genuinely feels special to ride. There's something satisfying about the engine note, the way it flows down a country road, the way people look at it. And the TRK community is actually brilliant too. They're very helpful, knowledgeable, still growing. Parts availability has improved massively, and there's a proper aftermarket developing. In terms of cons, or where this bike falls short, that 230 kilo weight really shows you when you're off your bike. Pushing it backwards, manoeuvring in tight spaces, getting it onto the centre stand can be hard work. The centre stand is particularly awkward because of where the pillion foot pegs are positioned. You really have to dig and work for it. Smaller, lighter riders might genuinely struggle with this aspect. It's not just about the seat height, it's about having the physical presence to muscle that weight around when needed. Another con are things like servicing quirks. I think changing the air filter means you need to remove the fuel tank, which isn't a massive job, but it's way more involved than it should be for a basic service item. So most people will end up paying a dealer for this, which will add to running costs unnecessarily, in my opinion. Another con is limited off-road ability. So if you've been watching YouTube adventure videos and you think this will take you up the Welsh mountains or across Scottish moors, you might be kidding yourself. 230 odd kilos with 47 brake horsepower is fine for gravel tracks and farm roads, but anything serious, you'll be walking home. Like, the weight and relatively low power for that just don't work for proper off-roading. It's adventure styled, not true adventure capable in the hardcore sense, and you need to know the difference before you buy it. In terms of performance limitations, if you want to pull wheelies in third gear, look elsewhere. If you need rapid motorway progress, this isn't your bike, but, you know, who's really doing more than 70 miles an hour? Not me, officer. Loaded 2 up on hills, you might be working the gearbox a bit. Alpine passes with the pillion and luggage might test your patience. It's not that it can't do these things, it just does them slowly. And some people find that relaxing, others find it frustrating. Electronic limitations. It's got one USB port, and the electronics on board are pretty basic. There are no riding modes, there's no fancy TFT display, there's no connectivity features. Compared to what you get on slightly more expensive bikes today, that might feel a bit dated. Though it does have a gear indicator, temperature gauge, it covers all the basics. Right, so who should actually buy one? Who is this bike perfect for? In my opinion, touring riders who prioritise comfort over performance. If you want to cover ground in comfort, seeing scenery rather than setting lap times, this is a brilliant bike. Also, riders coming back to biking who want something forgiving and confidence inspiring. The handling of this bike, it flatters your riding. The power delivery is very smooth, it's very predictable. Also, maybe long distance commuters who want good weather protection and comfort. This is so much better than a naked bike for daily motorway miles. Maybe couples who want to tour together, like the pillion comfort is genuinely excellent here, and it will carry luggage for 2. And, with 2 people up without breaking much of a sweat. I think anyone else who wants maximum bike for minimum money, the amount of equipment you get on this bike as standard is pretty incredible for the price. Who's it not for? Smaller riders who can't handle the weight physically. Don't convince yourself that you're going to adapt to 235 kilograms. It is a large weight, and if that worries you, look elsewhere. Anyone who might want sporty performance or really rapid progress, this bike is one that rewards patience, not aggression. Maybe people that have watched too many adventure YouTube channels and think that they'll be crossing continents on old goat tracks or something. Like, buy a proper adventure bike or a trail bike. And lastly, I think if you're mostly doing city riding, you're probably not using this bike's strengths and you'll end up hating the weight in traffic. I think the bottom line is, after thousands of miles, I genuinely love this bike for what it is. It's taken me on some brilliant trips, it's carried everything I needed, and it has never let me down. But you have to be honest about your riding. If you want to recreate the long way round, buy something else. But if you want to tour Britain and Europe in comfort, carrying some gear, maybe a passenger, for less money than pretty much anything else comparable, this bike is perfect. The weight is the biggest factor, but if you can handle that physically and mentally, everything else is absolutely manageable. If you can't handle that, then no other amount of positives are going to make up for it. If you just accept that it's not rapidly fast, you really will appreciate what it does well. If you tried to make it something it's not, you might be disappointed. My final verdict is, would I buy another one? For my type of riding, yes, absolutely. It's comfortable, it's capable, it's reliable, it is brilliant value. Yes, it's not the most exciting bike I've ever ridden, but it might be the most useful, and sometimes that's actually exactly what you need. You know, the TRK is a proper tool for covering ground in comfort. If that's what you want, you are going to love it. If you want anything else, maybe look elsewhere. Right, so that's my honest take after proper ownership. So if you're considering one, let me know what questions you've got. You know, if you've got one as well, tell me what you think I've got right or wrong. Hit subscribe for more bike content coming up, and I'll see you in the next one.